What's going on, guys? Welcome back. In today's episode we're gonna do something different. We're gonna take a break from the speed over there and we're gonna work on this guy. So this Mazdaspeed 3 is from a friend that he doesn't have an engine in it. Blew up, so he has this new freshly built engine to install on it, right? And I also got a few parts, top mount turbo, precision turbo, SCT clutch. We also have a port injection kit and a watt box and some other stuff that we're gonna do to it. So let's go ahead and start. So the first thing that we're gonna go ahead and do here is to install the clutch, right? This guy right here. So let me unbox it for you guys real quick. Alright, so you can see here I got the throwout bearing, pressure plate, disc, the alignment tool, and the flywheel. And it also came with new bolts, new pilot bearing. So that's great. That's like everything you need to do the new clutch. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that now. Alright, so after everything is torqued down, you just release the flywheel holder here. And also make sure that your aligning tool comes out freely. This one does, as you can see. So that means that we did a good job. Alright, so the clutch is installed, and I also went ahead and installed the new throwout bearing, greased up the shaft a little bit. So we are ready to make the tranny with the engine. Alright guys, so the tranny is bolted to the engine. I don't know if you saw me on the way I was doing it, but if you're by yourself, there's a trick to get it installed without breaking your back. So you put the transmission on top of a jack, you get the engine on the hoist, you angle it to match the angle of the transmission, and then you just wiggle it inside. Once you got it, the dials of the engine presented on the host of the transmission, you can just use the bolts to drag it in, little by little on all sides at the same time, and it will close it. So it's a pretty simple trick. A lot of people know it, but if you don't know it, hey, there you go. Alright, so now that that is installed, I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the accessories. And I'm gonna start here in the back with the turbo manifold, the turbo drain. Once I have the back complete, then I'm gonna move on to the front. So this top mount manifold comes with bolts instead of studs and nuts like OEM. So the first step will be to remove these guys. Okay, so here we are. We got the manifold installed. Now, because it's a top mount, I don't think I can have my turbo sitting here. It will hit this. So I'm gonna have to install the turbo after this whole thing is on the car. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is start working on the alternator and the water pump right there, and some of the other stuff in the front. Okay, so next I'm gonna go ahead and install the fuel pump, then the PCV plate and the thermostat. Alright guys, sorry that I'm jumping around the engine. I'm not really showing everything that I'm saying. The problem is that every time I'm going to install something, I'm missing a gasket or a bolt or something is broken, so I'm pretty much just installing what I got here, and the rest I'm gonna have to order. So here's what we are. So I got the starter installed and the AC compressor, thermostat right there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and install these, the PCV, then I'm gonna do the injectors with the fuel rail, and then see what else after that, if I'm not missing anything. Alright, here we are. So got most of the stuff installed. I was going to install the belt, but I'm missing the pulley from here. So I gotta stop from these. And then I got my oil feed ran over. And I started doing my return. I need a longer hose to make it up here. Right here. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to rotate this center housing, and then this guy the other side to get that situated where it's supposed to be. Then over here we got everything installed, the water outlet, we got the fuel pump, fuel rail, PCV, thermostat, starter, AC, everything is installed on this side, everything that I need so far anyway. Because I still gotta install the oil filter housing, but I'll do that once the engine is in the car. Little background on this engine: this is a built engine and it's rated for 700 to 800 horsepower. Alright, so it should be fun. Anyways, I'm gonna get going on this. Alright, so now that I'm pretty much done with the engine, sitting over there, baby watching everything, making sure I'm doing the right things. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take off the front bumper, lights, and the core support. Alright, so as you can see, I removed the entire front of the car. Then I also removed the AC lines. The AC condenser is also out. We're not gonna need that where we're going. And probably put back the panel. I'm not sure yet, because we're gonna do a downpipe, and a downpipe with a top mount turbo is kind of tight, especially the way that manifold is. The wastegate sits right there where the downpipe is supposed to go. So I don't know if to get that shield back on or not. I guess I'll see later. so the engine is installed. Everything's looking pretty good. So I just gotta go ahead and start working on the accessories here in the front. You know, get everything installed and turn it on. So here's what it looks like. Alright, so I had to remove the turbo to get it installed. It was hitting the mounting point here for the crane, so I had to get that out. And this space is looking really tight for that wastegate. Anyways, so I guess what I'm gonna do next is to start working on the pieces at the front. So right here, the oil filter housing, I'm gonna install that now, and then I'll give you an update from there. Alright, so I got the hoses installed here on the thermostat, both of them. I got these on. The last oil filter was installed by the Hulk. Took me forever to get it out of there. This guy is installed now. Now these two bolts from the starter, I put them the wrong way. I gotta swap them around because that one nut holds this hose in place there. Shit happens. And yeah, and then I gotta go ahead and install it in the back. That tube is for the heater hoses. Gotta install that, and then looking pretty good out here. Well, everything up here is finished. I got all this plumbing done. I got the knock sensor installed. All this is finished. I got the slave, the master cylinder installed here. Shifter cables are in. Heater hoses, I gotta get a little cap for that guy. I put the AGR delete plate back here. I think that's pretty much it. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and install the intake manifold. Alright, there's the manifold. If any of you have installed a JMF manifold, you know the struggle with that middle bolt right there. That's a bitch. But anyways, look at this thing. Alright, now that I'm pretty much done over here, I gotta take off this valve cover, this nice freshly powder coated valve cover, and cut it right there and cap it for the top mount turbo. So it's such a shame, but has to be done. Alright, so I got the valve cover all plugged in there. I threw in a little red paint on it just to, you know, make it look better. The turbo clears. I also had to adjust the vacuum hose for the brake booster. And I think that's it. We're looking pretty good. I got the turbo installed. It's looking nice. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this area right here, you know, battery box, all that, to see what kind of room I got for the intake. And then that's it. I'm gonna call it an episode right there. So in the next episode, you're gonna see me do the downpipe, dump tube, and we'll see. Probably the fixing the not fixing, but modifying the intake so that it fits, and on the route, intercooler piping and all that good stuff. So see you guys next time.